start off with a little explanation of all the stars that you're going to see. 0 stars, well, that means it's fake news, basically, and it's the amount of Eagles Super Bowl rings.
Doesn't exist.
It's going to stay at 0 this year as well. 1 star, there's a small shred of truth. 2 stars, people are talking. People are talking. It means it's out there. Can't say whether or not either way it's going to go. 3 stars, it's pretty likely to happen. And then 4 stars, it's a fact. Dez caught it.
Because Dez caught it.
Dez caught it.
That's what happened.
Let's start off with Scott Linehan. Is he going to return as the offensive coordinator? This one comes from Mike Fisher. Looks pretty likely.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's going to happen because Jason Garrett hasn't really said it himself, but everything we've heard
Votes of confidence
has indicated, like, yeah, we're happy with Linehan. He did sign an extension last year, and not only that, with the way the staff is already kind of being shuffled, which we'll discuss here, it kind of seems like Linehan is actually getting some more input with the way the offense is run.
Yeah, Fisher is more or less reporting that Linehan is getting more power.
And remember, this is still a Jason Garrett-Linehan combo offense.
Yeah.
It's not just Linehan or just Garrett's scheme.
That's right. Let's go on to our second news and rumor here. This is just straight up news. It's a fact. 4 stars. Dez caught it. Tight ends coach Steve Loney has retired.
They will need somebody else. He was only here for a year. They had their other tight ends coach leave last year. So, I don't know. Maybe you just get a placeholder for a year and then hire Jason Witten next year or whenever he decides to retire.
That's right.
Sounds like a win-win.
All right,
hire me.
We're calling the next one a fact. Coming from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, assistant coaches Wade Wilson and Joe Baker are gone.
Yeah, these two are both going to be out. Wade Wilson probably going to elect to retire. Secondaries coach Joe Baker just going to go ahead and leave and go find a different job with maybe a bit of a mutual decision / the Cowboys getting their way here. And then I think with Baker, I think the Cowboys give a lot of credit to Greg Jackson, who is the other secondaries coach came over from Michigan. I think he's gotten a lot of credit for the way the secondary has played this year. A young secondary that really improved down the stretch.
So with Wade Wilson out, quarterbacks coach is a spot to fill. Could it be Kellen Moore?
I think that this is probably going to happen.
Yeah. We're giving it 3 stars, pretty likely.
I'm not going to verify it quite yet, but I think with Linehan, we know he loves Kellen Moore probably more than maybe he loves his wife. Like I think there's that level of love there because Linehan is a huge fan of Kellen Moore, even though he was not a good actual quarterback.
Yeah.
But we've said this really for, a year now, Brett? He's going to make a great coach.
Yeah.
So I actually, as much as I hated Kellen Moore, the backup quarterback, I really like Kellen Moore, the potential coach.
Now, there's been some talk this year that Kellen Moore wasn't that interested in mentoring and helping Dak out.
Well, now he's going to be a coach. And I think he kind of realized I'm not going to be an actual quarterback. I might as well go start my coaching career, which he has a bright career.
Shouldn't he have realized that week 1 this year when he was cut?
Maybe when they put him on the practice squad? Yeah, I think that makes some sense. So,
all right. Some more coaching turnover at the linebackers coach position. Matt Eberflus, is he leaving, Tom?
I actually am a little concerned the Cowboys will lose him. The Cowboys offered him an extension last year when guys like Linehan and Marinelli were all extended, and he said, no, I'm not going to sign my extension. He wanted to interview for the 49ers defensive coordinator job. He did not get that job because he wasn't allowed to interview. The Cowboys said, no, we're blocking you from interviewing. We don't want to lose you for the Niners DC position. And I think Eberflus was a little bit like, I don't like that. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So he is looking around with his contract now up. He's looking around at other positions where he could possibly go be a DC somewhere. He really wants that. There had been a little bit of speculation, not really buzz, that Marinelli could become the assistant head coach and kind of move up a level and then have Eberflus be the DC, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Tom, how often does it happen where a team is going to block one of their position coaches from becoming or interviewing for a coordinator position?
More than you would think, actually. It happens relatively frequently when they're under contract, which is why you sometimes see coaches not sign bigger contracts. Yep. Sometimes it's also they blocked him when he's like, I don't want to interview. I don't want to tell him I don't want to interview, so just say that you blocked me. But I think this was a case where he wants to be a DC, and he's looking around this year to get that job. If he doesn't get a DC job, maybe he comes back, but I think there's a good chance that he does find one.
Let's go to our next news and rumor here on the list. This one coming from Todd Archer. It looks like special teams coach Rich Bisaccia is loving him some groomers.
Yeah.
And he's going to head over to Oakland with John Gruden.
Nice.
John Gruden, who may or may not become the next Oakland Raiders head coach. Can we just get on with the dance?
Gruden, who
it's outrageous already.
Who isn't the head coach, but has already pinpointed who he wants as the OC, DC, and the special teams coach. The 3 most important jobs.
He's not going to become the coach. Too. Okay.
Yeah. So look, he's going to leave.
4 stars here.
He's going to leave. Yeah. Bisaccia's not going to come back. I think if there is another option, I have a name for you here. How about current Raiders special teams coach Brad Seeley?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Has some ties to some staff. I think he could be the option. So a trade, so to speak.
I have seen that name thrown around. All right, let's go to Derek Dooley. This is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Coming up from Ian Rappaport at NFL Network. Possibly was just flat out fake news last week.
I don't know if it was fake news. I think it was more that Dooley just played everyone. So Dooley had more or less Dooley's camp and his side of the league. Hey, he's going to go be an OC at the college level. Which when I heard, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And I thought, well, I'm like, wait a minute, what OC jobs are open right now? Not very many of them. What kind of sounds like has happened potentially is that Dooley has parlayed his interest in being a college OC into getting a bigger deal and more input with the Cowboys offense. And I think that's what we're going to see happen. I wouldn't be all that surprised. I'll keep it at 2 stars because I don't really know what's going on right now with Derek Dooley. So just that people are talking, but he might get an extension and more input in the playbook, which he hasn't had up to this point.
I tell you what, when I saw Derek Dooley was leaving, I was thinking Miles Austin, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, could several former Cowboys become assistant coaches this year, Tom? You're giving it 3 stars and pretty likely.
Marc Columbo kind of is an assistant coach. And I wouldn't be all that surprised.
I mean, Miles Austin is somewhat an assistant coach already as well.
He's on the staff with some scouting role. I actually could see this scenario happening. Cowboys fire their own line coach, Frank Pollock, who I think they kind of blame for some issues with the offensive line this year. And then I think the other main area is if that happens, Linehan and Garrett like Marc Columbo a lot. And I think you can see Columbo get the call up from the assistant here into the main one.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a good chance we see some former Cowboys here as actual coaches. Andre Guerrero could take a role as a lower level assistant as well.
That's right. All right, those were 8 news and rumor nuggets from around not Valley Ranch anymore, but the Star. Let's take a look at them in summary real quick. Scott Linehan staying on as offensive coordinator. Tight ends coach Loney, he's gone. He's retired. 4 stars. Assistants coach Wade Wilson and Baker. They out
so
too.
No more Deadpool jokes. Not that I make a lot of those around Wade Wilson, but
I'm not going to know what any of that means, though, Tom.
Good. That just means you're not a nerd like me.
All right. Kellen Moore looking possible, pretty likely, we're going to call it, that he's going to become the next quarterback's coach.
Hey, I was with the audience who didn't like Kellen Moore as the backup, but I do like his potential as a coach.
All right. Eberflus leaving?
Yeah, I'm worried about him, and I would like to keep him, but don't know if it's going to happen.
Bisaccia, he's going with the Groomers. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's gone. He's not coming back. New special teams coach coming in next year.
Derek Dooley looks like he's gonna. We're gonna say he's gonna stay.
It's confusing to me, and I think it's confusing to everyone. Fisher and Rapport both, I think, got played a little bit, and I think we might see Dooley kind of stay around a little bit longer.
And then 3 stars, pretty likely that a former Cowboy will become an assistant coach.